really excited to share this information today because self-sabotage is something everyone experiences on a regular basis, and this is a very powerful and simple tool you can use that will massively help you with your anxiety, and it can also be helpful with depression, overwhelm, or any other state that's really blocking you from taking effective action on what you really want in life. So this is a big topic. I'm going to jump right in. Now, there are 4 states. There's our thinking state, feeling, being, and doing state. Each of these states has a high end or a low end, or a negative and a positive. If you are in excess of one of these states, it means that you are also deficient in another. If you're in excess in one of the states, it usually means that you're resourcing more of the negative aspects of that, and you are not accessing your power in the other states. So let's look at each of the states and what the negative components are first, so that you can recognize which ones are holding you back and where you're getting stuck, because you can be stuck in these states for hours, days, or even longer. For thinking, this is really common with anxiety. Overthinking can lead to being obsessive, being irrational, paranoid, worst case scenario, which causes you to feel trapped, despair, hopelessness, ashamed, and beat down, feeling that life isn't fair. Or you can spend hours being resentful about what someone said or did to you. Moving on, with feeling, this is also really common with anxiety because people can get stuck in excessive worry. And so if you're overfeeling, you can be immobilizing yourself and imprisoned in doubt, overwhelm, fear, sadness, despair, any emotion that just takes you over and consumes you into a black hole. And this can cause you to be very sensitive to other people or challenges that happen in life. And oftentimes you'll notice if you're overfeeling because you will start to self-medicate to numb out, which can be through excessive TV watching, eating, alcohol, drugs, and sex. The third state being doing, which is also common with anxiety for people who run more on burning their adrenals. There is a manic state in doing, and run by the feeling of being overly responsible or being highly ambitious. So someone might have an endless list of to-dos that keeps them going from morning until night, and it's very difficult for them to ask for help because they really feel that they have to be in control of everything and it has to be done perfectly, and they can't, and others could mess it up. This type of doing is not fun. It's often lacks joy and is not balanced. So it's causing people to be burnt out, fatigue, feeling empty, and a great lack of joy. And an excess of feeling high-strung, on edge, bitter, critical, and controlling. The last state is being. So the negative or the low end of this state can be an excess of not wanting to face reality and to stay in your comfort zone. So this can be daydreaming instead of taking action. Constantly wanting to learn but not implementing what you've learned. Reading spiritual books but just being stuck in the philosophy and the feeling of what you've learned but not applying it. And other areas of your life then get compromised, maybe your finances, relationships, or career. And you can't face the responsibility of life as it is because you are constantly wanting to be in your bliss zone or comfort zone. And so you're rejecting how life actually is. And you're escaping pain and seeking pleasure, which is very difficult because life in the physical world is duality of positive and negative, pain and pleasure. So this excess of being can be very debilitating for people. Okay, so what you want to recognize is which one of these states you find yourself defaulting into. There's probably more than one. And the main thing I want you to understand is that when you are stuck in one of these states, just know that if you could have solved the problem after hours, you would have been able to solve it by now. So that means that you can't solve the problem in that low end state. It's much more helpful to move into one of the areas where you're deficient and access the high end of that state. So I'm going to give you a few examples, and I would invite you to come up with your own list of the high end or the benefits that you find for yourself that work for you, so that when you notice that you're anxious and you're stuck in overfeeling, that you can access one of the other states to help you change your reality, change what you're doing, do something different to get a better solution for yourself. Okay, so for example, with thinking, if you are stuck in anxiety and you're in fearful thinking, or if you're depressed, one of the things you can do is to stop thinking and just move your body. Go into the high end of doing. Burn some of the excess energy in your body, that fuel that is causing your mind to race, and take action either through yoga, dance, hiking, training, some type of cardio. Something fun. I recommend it to be something that you really like, so it will be easy for you to do. It will feel joyful for you to do. It won't feel like another thing you have to do. You can listen to music. You can go on a walk. You can do something for someone else. So move out of your problem and just focus on doing something kind for somebody else. Or you can access that high resource of being, perhaps meditation, yoga, being mindful, practicing breath work, Tai Chi. There's so many different things you can do for being. I invite you to come up with your own list. If you're stuck in feeling, the high end that you can move into is actually thinking. So you want to move out of the feeling, the stuckness of the feeling, and you want to resource the soul wisdom. And so you can ask yourself empowering questions by engaging the challenge and asking, why do I feel this way? Who is triggering me? What in my life is causing me to feel this way? What do I need to learn? How is this all happening for me? Once you move into the lesson, you'll notice that you can move out of the lower mind of being stuck in the black hole that is just consuming your energy, and you can access the powerful wisdom of your higher mind. It can also be helpful to work with a coach or with a therapist, someone who can help you to access that higher resource, because that is what they are an expert at doing. So if you're noticing that you're getting stuck and you're sabotaging yourself with emotions, it is helpful to work with someone on this. You can also just do something silly and lighthearted, watching something funny, just to move out of your story, your sad emotional story, or your overwhelm, and just see something inspiring or funny, or learn about other things going on in the world. Expand your mind to the bigger picture. You can also talk with a friend, or you can access the higher resources of doing, and again, move, dance, cardio, move your emotion, get your breath going. It'll clear out that stagnicity. Okay, so for doing, if you notice you're stuck in doing, you really need to slow down, and you want to access the higher resources potentially of being and feeling. So you want to pause, and you can ask yourself, what do I need right now? What am I feeling? Am I numb? What am I trying to avoid feeling? And what would feel good to me that's healthy and nourishing? What would connect me to spirit and support me by something greater than myself? As often people who are stuck in manic doing feel that they have to do it all on their own, when in fact this is so far from reality, because the sun, earth, air, water, they're not in control of any of those things, yet they are supported by the very abundance of life itself. And so for people who are stuck in excessive doing, they need to move into the deeper inner realms of themselves that has nothing to do with the outside world. So that can be good to do meditation, Tai Chi, or to receive. If you're in excess doing, you're in excess yang. So you're putting out a lot of energy you're doing, and you're in deficient yin, which is receiving, repairing, going inward, and that can be wonderful to receive massage or acupuncture to help support that inner healing and cultivate inner peace and serenity within the mind, body, and spirit. If you're an excess being, you can move in perhaps to the high end of thinking, and you can get really practical. You need to probably get grounded and make clear short-term and long-term plans. Make clear goals and action steps to keep your momentum going. You can also move into the soul level questions again and ask yourself, what do I need to learn from the things that are challenging me, rather than try to avoid into the one-sided reality of love and peace and calm. That isn't how life on earth is. We have night and day, masculine, feminine, challenge, support. So we don't want to try to avoid one half of reality. We want to embrace the whole of reality to help us to wake up. So if you're stuck in excess being, try to move into the empowered high end of thinking on a soul level. You can also access doing by taking simple action on your bills, or cleaning your house, or doing a simple act of kindness that is something outside of yourself. Okay, so as you can see, the best thing that you can do is recognize that it's healthy to not stay stuck in the state that is causing you the problem. You're not going to solve the problem there. So you want to access different parts of who you are and your power, because those high ends can teach you something, or they can create grace by just moving your energy so that you can solve the problem and feel clearer and more confident and better. I know that if I'm dancing, I'm much more likely to take action on something that feels a little bit intimidating than if I'm sitting and thinking and mentally obsessing about every little detail. It's just like, no, get the body moving, get the breath moving, and then you're in flow. So if you have any questions on this, please leave them in the comments below. I also want to point out that this is a tool that you can use really all the time, and I like to think about it as the sweet spot of the soul, because if you're in balance with all of these different aspects of who you are, that means you'll have greater confidence, vitality, joy, and adventure in your life. So you're really accessing the full power of your whole being, rather than denying part of yourself and getting stuck in the low end. But if you have anxiety, this isn't going to heal your anxiety. This isn't going to solve the problem. So I recommend, if you're interested in actually changing your life from the inside out and not having to fight against yourself, is to learn why you have anxiety, what unresolved stress is triggering your physiology, and what you can do about it. I'm really passionate about helping people understand that there is tremendous wisdom and purpose within their greatest pain, and it is learning to take your weakness and turn it into your strength to change your life from the inside out. So if you're interested in learning more, I recommend checking out my Work With Me page and setting up a 15-minute complimentary consultation, and we can talk more about what you have going on. Okay, I hope this video served you, and I am sending you love and strength for your self-healing journey. Namaste.